What's going on, guys? What is going on? I don't know if you guys can hear me. I hope you guys like these thumbnails. I put a lot of thought into them. I really like the thumbnails. What's going on? Surf, Richard, M. Will, Eduardo, what's going on? Oh, you know what? I didn't announce this on Twitter. 1 second. 1 second. Amanda, what's going on? And then we'll get started. Let me just announce this. Live now. Day trading live now. All right, so it's announced there. Let me announce it here. Live now. Cool. All right, guys, what is going on? Let us get into it. What's going on, Tony? What's going on, Dave? Love Cavs. Hilarious. So had a perfect trade on CL on oil overnight. And I tried to get in this yesterday. I actually took a L on live stream yesterday in the Discord live stream. I tried to enter a front run on oil futures before it hit this liquidity. Or sorry, no, it was right after it hit this liquidity, but then it went back up for more. So essentially what happened was I then just waited for the 4 hour, and it set up this perfect ERL to IRL trade. This is just external range liquidity. This is internal range liquidity here. So a lot of times what you see with really liquid futures or really liquid commodities is it goes from a major liquidity external range, which is basically just a horizontal line at a major level. In this case, this was the high from last week, to an internal range liquidity, which is really just a fair value gap or an order block, sometimes a volume imbalance, right? So when we hit the weekly high and took liquidity here, the next draw for me was the fair value gap. And so I spotted this on the 4 hour and then set up the OCO on the 15-minute, right? So on the 4 hour, you see the ERL to IRL, then you switch to the 15-minute in order to find an entry. On the 15-minute, there was this fair value gap here, which is what dictated my entry to this, this is the 4 hour fair value gap, right? This is the fair value gap from the 4 hour. So this is a great example of using high time frame in order to set up your lower time frame plays, right? And this is something which we will go over, by the way, tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. When are we doing this? Thursday in our mastermind. This is one of the newer concepts that I've been toying around with that I'm going to now introduce into the mastermind. So the masterminds are basically the same program run every month, right? Trading, technical analysis, futures, and option selling. But every single month, based on how I'm modifying my strategy, based on my back testing, I will add or modify things in the program. So this is one of the things that I will be talking about in the trading portion, which we have session 2 of the trading portion on Thursday. And make sure to get on the wait list for future masterminds. Make sure you check out the link in the description. You definitely want to get on that wait list. Mastermind is free? No, it's definitely not free, bro. All right. So what are we looking at in terms of the indices, right? Here we see that on the daily, we do have a fair value gap here. What I'm expecting so far for the daily is because we did take liquidity above yesterday's candle, and even though we did we close above it? Wait, why is this candle? Yeah, even though we closed above yesterday's candle, it is not a convincing close for me. So what might happen here is it definitely could go up from here, but I'm hoping that we get a retracement into this daily fair value gap. So drilling down to the 4 hour, this is on NASDAQ. I'm looking to see if I can corroborate that. And it looks like there is a potential for that to be corroborated, right? Market opens in 8 minutes, but we have this high that was taken out. This is on the 4 hour. And now what we have here is a very, very, very tiny fair value gap that if we went down to the 1 hour, probably could see a clearer imbalance. Whoopsie, what the fuck am I doing? It is not even that clear on the 1 hour. Wow, these are really bunched up candles. This is going to be a tough one to trade off of. We're going to need more confirmation for this. But what I'm hoping is this sets up a potential power of 3 here. To the downside. Digging into that daily fair value gap that I was talking about. And plus we have we have this, I don't know, you can call it resistance support flip or order block or whatever, it doesn't matter. But we have this level right here too, so it would corroborate a potential retest of this area. That's what I'm looking at on NASDAQ. On S&P, it looks similar. Not exactly the same, but it definitely does look similar. You do have that daily fair value gap there. The trade off of the, even here, I mean, there aren't a ton of imbalances to take a trade off of. So we're going to have to wait for confirmation. It does have a similar PO3 setup. Right, where you have the consolidation. And then the manipulation, and then hopefully we get a drop. But what I'm looking to see is I need confirmation. You can front run this. I'm not looking to front run my first trade of the day. I did that yesterday, and I don't want to make a habit of it. Ended up taking an A+ trade later in the day. But for now, I'm going to actually wait until confirmation. I'm not going to front run this, even though I think this is what's going to play out. I think this is what's going to play out, and I think we're going to get a drop down into this daily fair value gap, and I want to look for a trade-off there. Let's see if there's a setup on gold. Not off the daily. Not off the 4-hour. Off the 1-hour, we are coming into this fair value gap here, but it looks very weak, and I think we continue downwards, especially if Dixie and interest rates continue higher. As I said, I expect the 10-year to keep going up. And when the Fed actually skips, I don't think they're going to cut. When the Fed actually skips and then skips again in March, I think that will give runway for the 10-year to go up one last time, the 10-year yield, before they cut in May. But yeah, the dollar looks like it is on its way up into that monthly fair value gap that I pointed out yesterday. So it's going to be hard for commodities and indices to rally if the dollar makes that aggressive of a move. So part of the reason also why I'm looking at potential downward moves on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Again, I would look for front runs here, but I don't want to take a front run first trade of the day. Because I did that yesterday, I'm not trying to. If I do today, then it's just going to become a habit, and you don't want to develop bad habits. You got to develop discipline. Tesla continues to drop. It does report earnings on Wednesday or Thursday. Sorry, Thursday. It reports earnings on Thursday. So, you know, its delivery numbers are already out. I did a full-on analysis. By the way, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram for daily free trading and finance content. But I did a analysis on Tesla saying that it hasn't had 6 straight negative weeks since 2016, and it only happened 3 times. March 2014, January 2016, August 2016. March 2014, the bottom was earnings. And January 2016, the bottom was earnings, right? And in March 2014, it rallied 58%. In January 2016, it rallied 91% from the bottom of earnings. And then August 2016, it did not bottom out on earnings day like the previous 2 times, but it still rallied 118%. From being 6 negative weeks in a row. But those are the only 3 times in Tesla's history that it's declined 6 negative weeks in a row. So that is, I do think that if we do get a final capitulation drop on Thursday, in my opinion, that's a very good entry to go in for the long term. I'm not saying that we are going to get those sort of rallies right after, but you know how Tesla behaves, right? This was an crazy fake out. I bet you a lot of people went long here. That was a crazy fake out. What trade are you looking forward on taking today? What do you think I'm doing, bro? What do you think I'm doing? Going over Pokemon characters? What are the ways to short indexes, stocks, and commodities? You short them with futures or you buy puts. If you're asking, you probably shouldn't be shorting. Let's put it that way. If you're asking, you probably shouldn't be shorting. One second. I just gotta close the door real quick. 1 second. All right, sorry. You just scalped short NQ, great 20-point trade. That's awesome, man. Anything on CleanSpark? Anything like what? So it looks like this power 3 is playing out. Oh, what a nice drop. If you're just joining us and you're wondering why I thought the market would drop like this, just rewind a little bit. Go back like 15 minutes, and you'll see why. Thoughts on Chinese market? I don't invest in China, bro. I trade Chinese stocks, but I won't invest in China. Did you buy light crude oil on April 1st, 2020? The hell? That's a weird ass question. No. What a nice drop. Good job, Lex. If you took advantage of that front run. Good job, bro. RTH gap has been filled on NQ. It filled. What RTH gap on NQ? You're talking about the one from yesterday? It was filled yesterday. Was there one today? I don't see it. It must have been tiny. This time. Oh, you're talking about this. If you go to the 1 minute, you see it clearer. Yeah. Yeah. Good call. Right when you were saying it, I saw the bear S&T on NQ. Awesome, bro. That's great awareness. That's awesome. I love seeing mastermind students elevate their game, bro. Lex is a fellow mastermind student. Dixie on the rise. Yeah, like I said, I think Dixie's going to that monthly fair value gap. So much learned just this year. Thanks, brother. Hell yeah, bro. I love seeing that. I love seeing your progress. So this is what I'm expecting for NQ. As I called out when this candle was hella green. This is what I'm expecting for NQ. ES is a lot stronger so far. Which is part of the reason that Lex entered that trade on NQ. ES made a higher high, NQ lower high. This is called bearish divergence, right? Now, a lot of you beginners may be familiar with bearish divergence between, say, MACD and price or RSI and price. Once you get more advanced in reading price action, you will become familiar with bearish divergence between NASDAQ and S&P and know that they are like brother and sister. They're very related. And you can read certain moves in one that may set up a potential trade on another, just like this one on NQ. So far, NQ, ES, a lot stronger than NQ, and we are coming to fill this RTH gap here on ES. Now let me check where our levels are at. By the way, there's 500 of you here. Guys, hit that thumbs up. Make sure a lot of people find this stream. There's 500 of you here and like 100 thumbs up. That's unacceptable. All right, let's see if we can catch a trade here. So if you look at the 1 hour, we're still basing. But if I do take a short, it'll be on NASDAQ. That might change later in the day, by the way. Like your bias or proclivity for one index over another might change because indexes sometimes do switch their strength profiles, right? Like where ES might be stronger earlier in the day, it might end up being weaker later in the day. Short on a pop. You guys scare me when you talk in generalities like this. I mean, yes, the idea is to short on a pop, but is the idea to short any pop? No. That's how you go broke. All right, we just took out London low. And here's where you want to see what happens, because if we breach London low with displacement, then what I said earlier is going to be confirmed in terms of having a bearish day where we start digging into this daily imbalance. AB says sexy thumbnail pic. I appreciate you, man. Do you think Mara is good for long for now? No, I think you have to wait until Bitcoin normalizes. India surpassed Hong Kong stock market value today. Hope I don't get any questions about the Indian stock market today. Also, if I had to choose one, I would still choose the Hong Kong stock market. Z has his net worth in rupees. Bro, if you went to like an ATM machine in India and you asked for a receipt and it spit out your balance in rupees, you're like an instant billionaire. You get to feel how a billionaire feels in that moment. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as like when I was in Colombia, because I think $1 is like 4,000 Colombian pesos. That's where you really look at your balance and you're like, what? Sad, I'm a follower and unsubscribing. Why? Because I won't talk about the Indian stock market? Bro, come on. I mean, you could be sensitive if you want, but I only cover one market, dude. Like I told the person yesterday, like there's a million great Indian stock YouTubers. I'm not one of them. I've never covered the Indian market. So yeah, go ahead and unsubscribe if you want, if you're looking for someone to cover the Indian market. Eduardo says, cover the Mexican market or I'm leaving. My God. Sanjay's a fucking wanker, bro. He said, U.S. market follows the Indian market. Sorry, India will rise more than the U.S. I'm not going to spend more time on this clown. Bro, you want to watch the show, learn something. If you don't, Cool, bro. Go have fun with your day. Yeah, I would this is a risky short here, but it is one that you can take. I would not trade ES today. See, when you look at what S&P is doing versus NASDAQ, NASDAQ is making much cleaner moves, right? Whereas the S&P is just barcoding here. I'm looking to buy calls on IWM at open, and if it hits the accumulated volume support resistance at 200, maybe I will buy some puts to ride it down. Do you agree with my TA? No. I mean, thinking that you can buy calls, profit, buy puts, you're probably going to lose money, bro. Focus on one setup at one time. Trust me, trust me, trust me. You are not going to make money that way. Thinking that you're going to buy calls, write it up, buy puts, write it down, buy calls, write it up. Come on, man. Focus on one setup. Take trading seriously. Is Palantir part of your portfolio? Hell no. I wouldn't buy calls on IWM here, bro. Like, you're asking me if I agree with your TA. The time to buy calls, right? I mean, this is a classic pattern. This is how we got in Unity software. This is how we got in Celsius. But when something forms a base and now is rallying, even though we did buy IWM in November, right? That's neither here nor there. Fine. If you weren't following us on the Discord and you didn't see that IWM that we entered in November, I'm telling you, you guys are missing out on all the heads up if you're not in here. November 10th is when we bought IWM, right? So if you didn't buy IWM down here, you don't buy calls after it's had 4 green gap up days, right? You buy calls on a retracement down, especially if it's a low volume retracement. This goes for any stock, by the way. So for those of you that are wanting to know this about other stocks, when you see disproportionately green volume and then on the retracement the red volume is very muted or declining, right? Especially a stock that has a lot of momentum, or in this case IWM is trying to catch up to, which is the Russell 2000, is trying to catch up to the S&P and is trying to catch up to the NASDAQ, right? You can play calls off of here. The time to play calls is not after 4 green gap up days. Okay? So, no, I don't agree with your TA at all. Did I sell CSP on Riot? Not yet. Not yet. I will soon. My analysis on Bitcoin is playing out. See this power of 3? This is my first target. My next target is actually, I posted this on Twitter too. Again, follow me on Twitter. It's absolutely free. But I posted this on Twitter too. My Bitcoin analysis here on the 11th when Bitcoin was trading at 50K. I basically said that FOMO buyers are going to get dumped on because of the ETF news. 38 to 40K was my first target. My ultimate target is 31 to 34. This is less realistic, but 38 to 40 to me was very realistic. And where are we now on Bitcoin? 38, right? And this is when Bitcoin was approaching 50K. So, you know, the power of 3 pattern on the high time frame is super powerful. But this is why this right here is, you want to wait for this to resolve before selling puts on the Bitcoin miners. But yes, you will be able to sell puts on Riot, Mara, Coin, etc. Right? Coin is a little more expensive. But the ultimate gift is if we get to this trend line. It's not necessary. This right here where I said could be the level, since we had this previous consolidation. This could be the extent of it. I'm just waiting to see how Bitcoin behaves before selling puts. Jeffrey Harris, analysis is the best money can buy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for that. Monica, can you say Tesla is also doing low volume retracement? No. No, this is not a retracement, Monica. This is a falling knife. What the pattern that I mean is when you see a stock, basically what people refer to as bull flags, right? When you see a stock go up on high volume and then retrace, and it retraces back to a previous order block on low volume, right? So if this leg contained a disproportionately high volume and this leg was low volume, then you can play these bounces. Tesla is in a downtrend. But as I said before, historically, 6 negative weeks has only happened 3 times. Hasn't happened since 2016. And the 3 times that it's happened, it's rocketed up 60 to 100 to over 100% each time. So do you know if it's possible to do options and futures in TFSA? What is that? What type of account is that? Tax-free savings account for Canadian residents? Bro, I love how you guys expect me to know about the Indian market and the Canadian retirement accounts. I have no clue, bro. I don't know. But I'm sure you can find that answer really, really, really easy. Does someone want to ask me about the Mongolian market? Come on. Here's your chance. Here's your chance to ask me about the Mongolian market. If I don't get at least one question on the Mongolian market, I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm just telling you right now. Retired today. Can you give me some thoughts on the Ethiopian stock market? Arctic market. Bro. Damien says, do you trade Nepalese goat futures? Man, I hate you. All right. He said Nepalese goat futures. This might be a nice opportunity here. But the power 3 already played out. All I want to know I will not trade the S&P today, guys. If you want to save money today, do not touch the S&P. Not yet. This is so ugly with no imbalances. Like, look at this barcoding here with no imbalances. NASDAQ is much, much, much cleaner today. I'm curious about this. We did take London lows, so I'm not going to take this, but I'm curious about this play here. But we took London low, so I'm not taking it. But I'm curious, if we get a rejection here, then I think London lows will eventually get disrespected. So that's what I'm looking at here. If we get a rejection here, then I think London lows will be disrespected and we'll make new lows of the day. So that's what I'm monitoring for now. Would you buy NEO at this price for long? Hell no. NEO is a stock to rent, bro. It's not a stock to own. Okay, there are stocks that you rent and there are stocks that you own. What is the hot stock in Yemen right now? The Houthi 5,000 index. Will you buy DKGN? I don't even know what that is, bro. DraftKings, DKNG. If that's what you're talking about. I don't know what DKGN is. All right, monitoring this. Again, not touching ES. NQ is much cleaner. Might look for another trade on CL. That was such a monster trade. That was such a monster trade. First TP 690, second TP was 1,050, third TP 1,370 per contract. I went a long oil right here. All right, this oil long is already up $100. I'm gonna move it to once we get to maybe 74.65. I'll move it to break even. Ooh, 120. Let's see what happens here. Equal highs on NQ. On what time frame? I don't see equal highs, bro. Maybe you're looking at regular trading hours. Yeah, you're looking at the regular trading hours. If you look at the electronic trading hours, those equal highs don't exist. Z, any advice on the Tesla earnings? What type of advice you looking for, bro? What is ERL, IRL? I explained it in the beginning. Here we go. I think NASDAQ. Like I said, if we reject this level, I think London lows are going to get disrespected. Hasn't Elon already mentioned not to expect good earnings? Well, then it's already priced in. Let's see what Tesla is doing. Man, I do not miss day trading options. I'll tell you that much. Richmond News? What Richmond News? Well, what? All right, Salim. Well, that's enough for you. Peace. Anything on Tesla? Bro. Stop asking me a lazy question, dude. What are you looking for on Tesla? What does anything on Tesla mean? Richmond Manufacturing Index at 10. Oh, that's what that is. That's what that is. I don't see any news on it. Whatever you want to, but say something. Come on, Pluto. Stop being a dummy, bro. If you want to ask me a specific question, I'll answer it. But don't ask me no general question and expect me to write a Moby Dick novel just for your entertainment. Oh my God, China's killing it. There's going to be a rotation, guys. There's going to be a rotation. Yeah, I'm in a CL trade that's up $50 because it broke structure, and I have my stop right below here. Would you sell puts on DraftKings? No. I only sell puts on stocks I want to own. If you look at DraftKings, profitability. I mean, let's look at its valuation. Price to sales, 5.28. That's wild. Price to book, 22. Yeah, no, I'm good on DraftKings, bro. Do you recommend Tesla for investment? I did a whole video on Tesla. Go and watch it. DraftKings historically doesn't spike during Super Bowls. You guys are trying to play trades like that? Like buy DraftKings because of the Super Bowl? That's just a crazy way to trade. You think TLT has had a good pullback for an entry? Look, I will tell you if you guys hit that thumbs up. Oh, shout out to CL, baby. Took a long on CL on the stream. All right, I'm going to move my stop limit to break even. Now we're in a free trade, guys. Free trade is the best trade. We're up 200 on this. Easy as pie, baby. Let's go. Let's go. 260 now. My stop is at break even. The worst that can happen is $0. 290, 300. Let's go. There is a fair value gap here that's scaring me in all this consolidation here. 310, 320. I might close this out right here. I'll just let it be. Worst that can happen is that I get stopped for break even. You love to see those types of trades. How many futures trades you can take? If your question is, can you expect this type of trade in the Discord on a daily basis? The answer is yes. You're asking me about TLT. Okay, I'll give you an answer on TLT. One other thing I will tell you, and this is why I love pulling this shit up here, because everything is timestamped. Okay? This is when I jumped in TLT. November 8th. I'm increasing my exposure to bonds, blah, 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 blah. TLT, TMF. Right? This is when nobody was looking at TLT. But I love that it's timestamped. TLT, yes, I think TLT has pulled back. I do think it might continue to drop after the Fed skips. I think it has a little bit of a drop, but we're talking about accumulation. Yeah. I just don't think that you're going to make a shit ton of money in the short term. So if you're talking about long-term accumulation as part of your bond portfolio, then yes. If you're talking about, am I going to be a millionaire in a week? No. DX Thunder, thank you so much for your donation, bro. Thank you so much. Do you think Tesla will go up after? I'll try again. Do you think Tesla will go up after earnings based on your analysis? I don't know. I don't work for Tesla. I hit the thumbs up button before the ad even finishes playing. Appreciate you. Thank you, DX Thunder. Thank you so much. How about waiting to see Tesla after earnings, afterwards sell a long-term put at the money? See, Coin and a Half comes through with a very sensible strategy. All right. I like this strategy, Coin and a Half. Yes, for sure. I like your strategy, bro. I might close this trade out for 300. I don't want to be a dick for a tick. $310. Yeah, that's good enough for a scalp. All right. $300 trade on CO. Live in the flesh. But Coin and a Half, yes, I like it. I like your strategy for sure. That is actually what I'm thinking. Like, I already have sold puts on Tesla, but I think you can afford to wait for earnings and then make your decision there. Because here's the thing. Tesla is a depressed mega cap right now, right? So what's the worst that can happen by you waiting until after earnings? That it goes up a few dollars? Well, okay. If it goes up a few dollars and it confirms that it wants to rally, right, based on good guidance, etc., then it's not too late to jump on that train, because it's not like Tesla's going to go from 212 to 280 in one day. It might go from 212 to 228 or something like that, 230, right? But at that point, then you can sell a put for lower than that and either ride the wave or get in at a lower price than it is after earnings, right? If Tesla shits the bed on earnings, well, then you can even get it for a much lower price. So I think waiting until earnings, Coin and a Half, I think waiting until earnings is a really good win-win situation. Thoughts on thoughts? That's a very good question, Evan. Very good question. Super dope, guys. Took a nice long on CL. I think there is another long coming. So if we stick to the reason that I took the CL short overnight yesterday was because of this ERL to IRL. Now we go from IRL to ERL, which is going to be this next high right here, 75.15. Right? This is our next ERL point. We're going to go from IRL to ERL. So because we broke structure on the 15-minute, for those of you just joining us, I took a $300 per contract trade on oil, right? So we broke structure on the 15-minute, and I looked on the 5-minute for an entry, and I entered off of this fair value gap here. But on the 15-minute, we broke structure right here. We went from bearish to bullish, right? So we broke structure with displacement. And then I entered off of this 5-minute fair value gap. Now, I think that on the next 5-minute fair value gap, are we still in the discount? Because this right here is the IRL level from the daily, right? It's, from the 4-hour. It's this green line right here, which is basically the most recent high. This is where I think we will break, and then we'll look for the next IRL level. So we went from ERL to IRL, back to ERL, and then we'll look for the next IRL, right? You guys see me trade with no indicators, guys. This is the type of shit we go over in the mastermind. I have 0 indicators on my chart besides the price levels that I draw. That's it. So on the next pullback, if we are still in a discount, how do we know if we're in a discount? Well, we measure it. So if we take the bottom to the top, I cannot long that. I cannot long that. It's above our 0.5 level now. Where I longed it was right on the cusp of being in a discount, right? It was right at the 50% mark. But longing from here to here, I would have to take like a super scalp. Anyway, one trade out of the way. We'll have more. Feel like I'm in econ class? Bro, I majored in finance. They don't teach you this in econ class. I promise you. Got out for 370 on CL? Hell yeah, Sony Craft. Good job, bro. Do you trade most on Tradeovate? Tradeovate and Thinkorswim, but I'm recently doing a Top Step account. And I passed the evaluation on the first try. So this is my Top Step funded account. I have a Top Step $50,000 account. If you guys are interested, I do think that if you're new to futures and or you don't want to risk a ton of your capital, I think going the funded route is your best bet. So I have a Top Step $50,000 account. It cost me $49 to open that account. And I because I passed it, I now have $50,000 to trade with that they funded me with. So it is really awesome if you are just starting out. And if you want, use that link and you can get 70% off your Top Step account. And if you're in the Discord, obviously, if you have any questions on Top Step, put it in we do have a prop trading chat channel, right? Everyone trading prop, passing evaluations, asking questions. It's all in here. How to set it up, etc. So again, if you're new to trading futures and or you don't want to risk a ton of your capital and you are interested in getting funded, trading with someone else's money, then make sure that you check out Top Step. How much you put of your money on Top Step, it's not my money. Because I passed the evaluation, I just paid $49 for, their fees, which is usually $130 or $120 or something like that for the 50,000 account. So I just paid $49 and I have I passed it and I have a funded account now. If you don't pass it, then you're going to have to keep trying until you pass it. But that's the beauty of it, is that it forces you to trade responsibly, right? Because you don't want to keep blowing accounts. What happens if I made one mistake? You can make one mistake, bro. You have a $2,000 drawdown. How does that work? Click on the link, AJ. Read through it. Take your time. I would like to join the Discord. What do you guys offer for future trades? Most of our day trades are futures trades, bro. Look, these are all futures trades. We do have option selling for longer term, right? I go over my option selling strategy, what I'm selling puts on, cover calls. And then there are option swings, but for day trades, it's all futures. Can you paper trade futures on TradeAway? Yes. What is the code for 70% off Top Step? Look at the pinned comment. It's right there at the top. Coin looks good. I went over Bitcoin and Bitcoin related stocks. Rewind the tape. I did pass the first eval. Did you pass the second test? I'm on a funded account right now. I just passed my eval last week, and now I'm on a funded account. You said $100 for lifetime. It's 90. Yeah, if you use the code in the description, you talking about the Discord? Yes, it's 99 a month for life. It's not 100 for a lifetime. It's 99 a month. Took the CL long, bag $300. Hell yeah, bro. Good job, Sultan. Nepalese goat futures is still one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Yeah, bro. You and me both, Cam. All right. I might re-enter CL for a scalp until we get here. Waiting to see if it gets to our level right here. As I told you, NQ. There was a reason that I thought we turned red on NQ. Looks like so far that's playing out. If you want to know the reasons, rewind the tape. But for now, guys, I'm going to have to leave you because I'm going to take this stream private and go to the Discord. So for those of you, Sultan, bro, you're the man. Last week, he bagged $1,000 on a trade I gave out, and he donated 500 of it. And today, I helped him bag 300, and he donated 100 of it. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, bro. That's awesome, dude. Would you consider coming to Canada to go snowboarding and skiing? Yeah. In the spring, though, not in the winter. What % of the profits get shared with you? For who? I don't take any of your profits, bro. What's the profit split on the funded accounts? Guys, you can literally click on that and read all the stipulations. You keep the first $10,000. After that, it's 1090. Top Step keeps 10, you keep 90. But they're literally giving you the amount of money to trade with. But I'm going to take the stream in-house, guys. I'm going to join the traders on the Discord and take trades for the rest of the day with them. So if you're in the Discord, I'll see you in a bit. If you're not, I don't know what you're doing. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next YouTube stream. Appreciate you, Sultan, man. You're a good guy. All right, guys. See you in the Discord. Peace.